try to ensure someone's got it. Okay, now once that is settled, do ready checks once more, and then you can just get started once your party is ready. Now generally for...
Galen, am I going away or not?
Oh, sorry. I always terbalik dalam tu.
You sure cuts you.
My...
Yeah, I should have.
There's
Just recall again, it's fine.
In a party, it seems.
Yeah, no. I'm asking Kizama to form the last party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could 2 parties.
There's still Naughty, Istic, and Icarus.
And I think they are the spare party lah. They are
A
the
lot of
like,
people inside actually.
45.
Then DPS should be fine.
shouldn't be too bad lah.
Yeah, I'll stay here and watch the gate.
Sure. Okay lah, so once you all grab the remaining members, for the rest of them, those parties were already formed. We can get started lah. So make sure you get off on the correct side. Now in BA, never ever read enmity of the main tank. Always let the main tank. Okay, because if you are new, you are ungeared, you are not on defensive, and you full aggro, it is totally possible to get one-shotted by a normal trash mob. Okay, the mob will hit you really hard and then you will just die. So please be very careful with pulling enmity here. Okay, sometimes the tanks will pull multiple mobs at once because the mobs are tethered together, so don't rush to DPS straight away. Let the tanks establish first. Okay, the other thing is that healers, regen healers, please be very careful as well. No, regen still generates enmity for regen ticks. We'll have to wait for 6.2 for them to fix that. But there will come change. There's a QOL coming where regen doesn't generate enmity anymore. So once that happens, we have fewer accidents. Yeah, then that just tank and spank mobs. Nothing very important to note about these trash mobs here, except for the mob at the top of the stairwell. There'll be 2 losses, which looks like I don't know how to describe them. Minotaurs, half Minotaurs. That will do a very nasty frontal and rear cleave that comes out nearly instantaneously. You do not want to be in front or behind of these cleave losses. It's very nasty. We generally just stay at the sides or far away.
Oh, there's two.
Someone hold it.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Thank you. Yeah,
Wow, you're so lucky, I'm so lucky.
I know, he got down to like 10%.
Yeah.
Okay, for all the sub-tanks, the other tanks, if you're not a main tank, right, your job is basically to be ready. If someone accidentally, like, you know what just happened, someone accidentally pulls another mob, right, you just quickly step in with shield lock or something, a tomahawk, shield lock, just grab the end.
Be careful about
Sorry,
your
we are the
transport
Biblios. When try to avoid the back and the front because they do a very like untelegraphed frontal or back cleave after they get stunned.
Hop.
Second one's been pulled.
Yeah, be careful if you when you put your astro
First
star.
one first. And avoid the frontal.
Damn it.
It's a bit, how do I explain this? It's a bit tricky because what happens is that when they get stunned, immediately after the stun, they'll turn and face the main tank and cleave that tank. They are gonna turn, so just move away from the tank actually.
I'm not sure where Sid is facing.
Yeah,
The thing is spinning. So.
yeah, just move away lah. Move away from it lah. Just don't risk your life for it. It's not worth it. Okay, and then I think we can just shout that right. Okay. I'm gonna just begin quick explanations. So really fast ones. Now, for Owen's side, okay, for the side I'm on, I'll be main tanking Owen. The mechanics for Owen is very simple. If he's fire, you go to ice. If he's ice, you go to fire. If you're not sure where that is, you just follow everyone. Later on, if the fight drags on long enough, he will put triangle markers above some players' heads. Those triangle marked players need to stack together. It's the lonely mechanic. You need to stay with, stack on each other, right? Give each other a hug to survive it. Those with the donut on their feet, a puddle on their feet, you're supposed to pull it away from everyone. Okay, so those with the puddle move away, those with the triangle on their heads stack together. Okay, do note the donut ones will have a triangle also. Don't be confused. The donut, the puddle ones move away even though you have a triangle. The triangle ones stack together. This is for Owain side. Now for Art side, Art is a bit more trickier. He places spears around the edge of the arena, and what happens is that Art will fire either a point blank AoE or a donut shaped AoE. Straight after he does those, the spears will do the same thing, no telegraph. So if he's doing a point blank, you move away from the boss, and then immediately after you run into the boss, because the spears will cover the area around the boss. You need to move fast. If he does a donut, you go in, and then straight away afterwards you run out to any spear, because they will be doing donut AoEs as well. So you need to stay on the spear to be safe. This is for Art side. Now, Art, at a certain point in the fight, the floor will glow. He will cast legendary gears, and the floor will glow. Stop moving. If you move, you will get slowed. Okay, heavy, not slowed, heavy. And then afterwards, there'll be line AoEs that come out. You will find it difficult to move out of the line AoEs. Okay, but try your best to move out of them. Don't just stand in them and get cleaved. Okay, even if you're slowed, you can try your best to move out. If you have movement skills like backflip displacement, shukuchi, whatever. Okay, just try to use them to get out of the line AoEs. Okay, even if you're slowed, you can still use movement skills. Okay, this is for Art. Okay, so Art is just move in and move out, and then stop moving when the gears, the floor flashes. Owain is just go to fire or ice, follow everyone, stack for the triangles. Okay, with good DPS, we shouldn't see any other mechanics. Okay, any questions? If you have questions, just type it out in your Yell chat or party chat. If not, then we'll get ready to start. We have about 11 minutes left on our timer. Okay, do note that BA, right? Inside BA, there's a timer just below our Hydatos timer. We need to beat this timer to keep proceeding. If we run out of time on the BA timer, we get kicked out. Okay, so I will sort of expedite things as well. Okay, now we'll start at ET 0745. Okay, 0745. If you have limit break, range or casters only, use it at 0743 for LB2 and 0744 for LB1. A range or caster LB, just fire it off, because once we pull, the LB bar will just drain away to 0. So we may as well just fire it off. Okay, other than that, just make sure you have your mega set to the correct element, DPS. If your boss is dead, okay, in other words, if your boss has no health, rotate to defensive and just focus on staying alive. Now these twins, if one of them dies but the other one's not dead yet, they will both stay alive until both bosses have no health remaining. Hence, we need to balance the parties. If not, everyone will all on one side, the other party is going to have a tough time killing their boss. Okay, now LB2 if you have it, LB1, and if you didn't say anything, sorry. Now
Nothing else.
That's why she's called sus.
I am not happy.
Okay, just some general mechanics with whites and tank busters, so don't worry about it too much. For Owain side, just go to fire, Owain fire. Yeah, I'm sure just follow everyone.
Go with What's the 1%?
So outside you rotate to defensive and stay on defensive, focus on defense and stay alive.
you have your backs. Okay.
Nothing's happened yet. You should still have that.
1%. That
Nice. Easy. We didn't see
I
any other.
dodged the donut
Quick,
with
Quick,
breathtaker.
Mamo, go and pop that trap. Mamo, pop that trap. Mamo, pop that trap.
why do you have breathtaker on?
It's fine.
Yeah, I give you black
Because it's further.
Yeah. Okay, now there's a trap at the top of the stairwell. Be careful, whoever is running ahead. Okay. Got scanners.
Quick,
Nice.
Mamo, pop that trap.
Okay, the shiny glowy thing on the floor, that's the trap.
Oh my god, don't do that.
I know, right? But never mind.
Oh my god.
Oh, it doesn't have
Okay, now, at the top of the hall, there's another 4 more traps in a square pattern. These mini ones are bleed traps. So,
Dollars coming. Be
yeah,
careful.
just careful. Yeah. Then,
Are
treasure
you MC
coffers.
here?
Treasure coffers in BA, right, are personal. Everyone should grab your own treasure coffer. Okay, just remember to grab, open your own treasure coffer. Okay, and we'll just begin to peel the mobs lah. Okay, we'll like it sort of like semi-speed run this lah. So, Felista, you can
Zoom.
yeah, just zoom a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead lah. Just start repeating. Okay, now here this hallway again, just more trash mobs. We're just gonna tank and spank them. Do note that the sprites will aggro on cast. Okay, means if you cast a spell near the sprite, they will aggro you. So be very careful about the sprites.
Perception is not a spell.
I'm gonna pull the sprite first. The centaurs in this hallway, they need to be interrupted when they cast a skill called Berserk. Okay, when I say interrupted, I mean like stop. But interrupt doesn't actually work. Stun doesn't actually work. So they need to be slapped or use sleep on them as they are casting Berserk. Usually healers or any caster can do it. Okay, preferably healers because healer sleep is a single target one. But anyone can do it in a pinch. Just make sure you interrupt the Berserk cast. The door, which just died by the way, has a nasty frontal gaze attack. Very massive cone. So normally the main tanks will point it away from everyone else. They don't be in front of the door. Okay, but it just died. If you notice mobs suddenly dying, right, it's just simply because people are using Death L on them, which is very very good to make runs go faster. So if you have Death L and you have nothing better to bring, if you have nothing better to bring, you can consider bringing Death L.
Provided you're not using Sharp Friend one because they don't proc.
They don't
Hey,
work.
Never.
They don't work.
No. Those that don't crop are sharp brand premium. You need to make sure you pay enough to get sharp brand premium.
That's not how it works, guys. Please, you guys didn't
I
read the,
see how it is.
you guys didn't read the label. The Shark Brand Death L, right, works 100% of the time, 10% of the time. Yeah, that's why.
It works 100% of the time. Probably
It's like,
most of the time, once at a time.
Yeah, exactly. It works 100% of the time when it works. Okay, that's how it works. Yeah.
You need to pay subscription for this.
I was about to say, it's like a subscription fee. You don't get that many ads with one, then you get no ads with the other.
It's like better fun.
I thought you were going to say it works to fail 100% of the time.
No, that's not brand. That's like trash. That's trash brand.
That is funnel brand.
I just couldn't use my
Lol.
Shadow only has like Dell logo brands. Dell on.
And Swift and Backstab and Ethereal Manipulation, yes.
No.
Yeah.
I believe there was one run he was using spell shield.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Spell shield.
Yes.
I'll have to go smart then.
Okay, welcome to Raiden. This is the second boss. I'll do again very brief, quick explanations. Okay, explanation time. Okay, for Raiden, there's only 2 mechanics we need to look out for. Number 1 is called the lateral slash, and what happens is that Raiden will disappear from the arena. He will reappear on either the east or west sides, and then he will raise his sword and cleave the arena, killing anyone on the side his sword is raised on. Now what's going to happen is that we're going to stack in the middle, Okay, Raider will disappear, we stack in the middle. Now, there'll be puddles that appear below randomly selected players. So we are all stacking in the middle to try and bait the puddles in the center. There's going to be a large number of puddles in the center, so move out of the puddles first. Prioritize getting out of the puddles. Don't step out of the puddles, then step back into the puddles. I see people like step out of the puddles, then they realize they're going the wrong way, then they run back through the puddles. You're gonna die in the puddles, by the way. So get out of the puddles first. Once the puddles explode, turn around, run to the safe side. Okay, the safe side is the side his sword is not pointing at. Okay, obviously if you notice which way his sword is pointing at, you can immediately turn and go to that side, moving out of the puddles at the same time. But if you are panicking, just get out of the puddles first, and then turn around, stop, realize where the safe side is, and then run towards that side. Okay, all of us will be on that side as well, so you can't miss it. If you find that you're the only player running off to one of the sides and everyone is on the opposite end, quickly stop and turn around, go the other way. You're gonna die if you stay on the wrong side, because his cliff insta kills anyone. You can't survive it. Tank inbounds and transcendence doesn't work either. So if you die, you get res. Midway as you're resing, he cleaves you, you die again. He goes through invulnerability. Okay, so that is the lateral slash. Now the other mechanic is called cloud to ground. Hopefully we won't see it, but I will explain it regardless. Now cloud to ground will place a single Axa flag, which is a traveling AoE marker on the edge of the arena. We will look for it. As it starts traveling, we will stack where it spawned, because that spot is going to be safe. All of us stack there. He casts Bitter Barbs, which will place AoE puddles below randomly selected players again, and tethers certain players together. At this point of time, we pop sprint, run around, avoid all the puddles, avoid the traveling AoEs, and if you are tethered to somebody else, split the tether. That one takes priority. Okay, the tethers take priority. If you stay tethered for too long, you will take a heavy bleed dot damage over time, and both of you will die. So please prioritize splitting the tether. Now at the end of all of that mechanics, Raiden does Whirling Zantetsuken, which is a donut-shaped AoE. The only safe spot is inside his hitbox. You need to be stacking inside his hitbox. He will do Whirling Zantetsuken a few times in this fight. I will call it out. Okay, so that's it for the Raiden mechanics. Any questions? Done. Okay, if not, then Felista, do you want to maintain?
Felista and Marshall is
Oh,
right.
it's Marshall. No, okay, never mind.
I think that's just gonna.
Tatsu has got the marker.
Okay. No, because the marker is different for everybody, ma. I saw for my party, Velista's got the marker. Okay, so Tatsu can main tank, ma. Okay, Tatsu will main tank. So let's start at.
Next to me.
Yeah, I can see. No, we don't really need to mark the Potatsu lah.
Okay.
We don't need to mark main tank for this one. Okay, but we will start at ET 11 15 lah. ET 1115.
1.
Yeah, 1. That's your mega bot.
Oh, is it?
Someone fired.
Doesn't matter lah. Doesn't matter.
Damn it.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay,
Smell no.
so LB2 at 1113, LB1 at 1114. Let Tatsu main tank, all the other tanks turn up for tanks lancers. Raiden is thunder aspected, so just rotate to her for DPS. And just listen to callouts and generally we'll be fine. If we stay cool, everything will be fine. Okay, LB2, LB1, now generally the tank will pull the boss to the edge of the arena.
Somebody had to.
Got stunned.
Yes, his stances all he does is turn off the stance lah. But I think they'll be like this.
That wasn't a stance.
That was like that's
I went aggro with you.
Okay, yeah. Someone else also had a transform, but that's fine. We should all be okay now.
Great. The swimsuit run is next week. Yeah, just 1 meter.
But that's the uniform level.
Really?
Okay, now
matter.
range and casters can start running back to max range. Melees get ready to go. Okay, everyone run back, including the main tank. Now he's gonna jump backwards. We're gonna stack inside the sequence. They don't avoid the players jumping. They try to get the players around. Okay, now Raiden's gonna disappear and we're gonna stack in the middle. Raiden is on the east side. Avoid the puddles and run to the safe side. You just get out of the puddles first, and then go to the safe side.
I'm back.
Rescue
I'm
the
back.
stragglers. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, puddles using sweep. Yeah, he's swinging as usual. Okay, spread out lightly, spread out lightly. There'll be AoE markers that you want to just place away from other people. You can pick one AoE, but don't stand in the overlap of AoEs, you probably die. Okay, then this is a light meteor check.
What kind of spread was that? There are three of them so close together. Hello?
Time spread, uptime spread.
Uptime strat, yeah, this
Just
is
kill
the
me,
secret,
yeah, this
secret uptime strat.
I always
Uptime
park,
strat as long as you don't kill people with it.
I always park mine right next to Raiden for the gallows.
I know, right?
Jealous, thank you.
Okay lah, and then we just continue lah to get ready. Something
Nice.
Good spread, huh?
Okay, there's a treasure coffer here that you can't really see because everyone's standing around it. Don't forget your treasure coffer. Come back and pick it up. Okay, then
Far.